And so I want to finish this show this morning with some things that you need to consider when you're interviewing a real estate agent, because I've had some talks with people, and we're trying to grow our real estate team, but we're very selective in who we choose in order to do that. And there are so many agents out there that are just not getting any direction right now. They are not getting training on a consistent basis. They are not figuring out ways to be productive and profitable in their business, especially with everything going on right now, or even during the good times. They're kind of stuck in a desk and said, here's a manual, figure it out. Go online and watch some of these videos. Attend some sort of, boilerplate training program that we're going to have in the office once a month. The education, once you get into this business after becoming licensed, is rough. We focus a lot on it on our program. We are absolutely a training-based tech company disguised as the real estate company. So when you're talking to, I'll just tell you a quick story. I have a buddy that I went to college with. He's a few years younger than me. He played on the rugby team. And for the past few months, we've been talking, and he said, yeah, I want to buy a place. I'm just, waiting on a few things to come together. And, as soon as that happens, then let's have that conversation. I was like, well, let's have the conversation now and then put that plan in place so that when that thing happens, whatever that is, you're prepared. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, he kept kind of pushing me off. And anyways, long story short, I heard through the grapevine that he made an offer on a property through one of his friends, another friend that sells real estate part-time. And the real estate agent, frankly, just messed up. They messed up a portion of the contract. It ended up costing the buyer his earnest money, $3,000. So now my friend has to wait for that money to be replenished in order for him to buy something. And the real estate agent has a contract for representation with my friend and won't let him out of it. So he is stuck with this crappy agent. And so I think when you're talking to real estate agents, you're under the assumption that everybody has the same level of training and same basic level of understanding of the process and the market, and that can be helpful to you. But I'm here to tell you that so many agents have entered our business in the past few years that have just joined companies because companies want their numbers to look big. They want to have a lot of, people in seats in their office to create the illusion that, hey, this is a busy, vibrant office. Come join us. Come join the crowd. Come learn. Come sell real estate with us. It's a way of attracting people, but I would rather attract people by saying, hey, we are a bunch of highly productive agents. We only want other highly productive agents or people that have the mentality of becoming a highly productive agent. And here are the things we do and blah, blah, blah. So when you're interviewing an agent, first and foremost, ask what their policy is as it relates to canceling the agreement if you're not happy with their service. That is, I think, one of the biggest fears that people have is getting locked into some sort of agreement with somebody that is not who they say they are or doesn't have the experience they say they do or won't represent them the way they want to be represented. We as real estate agents, we have to be good at the quote-unquote presentation of our services so that you feel good about hiring us, but the proof's in the pudding. The results are what speak for themselves. And we're a very results-based company. So, yeah, I think that we do a great job of presenting the material, but it's only because we're presenting what we've done and how we're going to do it again for you. And we're only as good as our last transaction. Yeah, we've sold over 1,000 homes here in Charleston, but we're only as good as our last transaction. The past doesn't really matter all that much if we take all this experience and all these great things that we do for people and don't apply it. It's pointless. It's like reading, all these self-help books or reading, books on how to get really good at eating healthy or working out on a consistent basis and just having the knowledge but doing nothing with it. So you need to ask these agents what their policy is in regard to firing that agent if they don't uphold their end of the bargain. And the other thing that, as on a basic level, aside from the more, kind of common questions like, how many years have you been in the business? How many homes do you sell per year? What are you going to do to sell my home? How are you going to help me find inventory? So on and so forth. All those things are questions that you need to be asking, and you need to be interviewing, because the overwhelming statistic in real estate, and it's been this way for years and years, is that the vast majority of people, about 80% of people, hire the first agent they come into contact with that seems to have a heartbeat and a general understanding of real estate. You should be interviewing people when hiring them to help you purchase a home or sell a home. So first and foremost, if we're not happy with your service, what are our options? What are our rights? Is that in writing? Show me. What's your communication policy like? I don't want to hire you to sell my house and then not hear from you for weeks or months at a time. What does that policy look like? Is it in writing? Show me. What are you going to do specifically to find buyers for my house? I know you're going to put it in the MLS. I know that it's going to go on all these other websites. I know you're going to put a sign on the ground. What are you doing above and beyond that to find buyers proactively for my house? How are you going to represent my best interests? How experienced and skilled are you in negotiating? All these things we've been talking about this morning tie together in the interview that you have with that real estate agent. So if you don't want to have to think about all these questions that you have to ask somebody, here's the good news. I have a list of questions that you can ask a real estate agent if you want to interview them to help you buy or sell or invest in real estate. Maybe you're thinking about working with a friend. Maybe you know that friend isn't a full-time real estate agent. Do yourself the favor of asking them the questions. Compare that to somebody else you interview and see how they answer those questions. Make the decision that's the best for you. So if that's something I can help you with, if you want access to that list, all you have to do is call or text me, 843-400-8009. That's 843-400-8009. Or visit us online at listingsincharleston.com. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great weekend. And thanks for tuning into the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Join us for another edition of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show next Saturday morning at 9 and Sunday morning at 10. Contact Brian Beatty online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com. Or call him at 843-345-1273.